And you've probably seen the terms natural, organic, and whole on food labels and packages in stores or in restaurants. But what do these words really mean when referring to your food? Well, Fox UP's Kelsey Nemestow takes a look. Kelsey.
Ben, it can really be very confusing for some people. Many don't understand the difference between conventional grocery items and those that are labeled as organic. In the first part of my series, It Comes Naturally, we'll dive into the world of food and what those terms mean. Whole, natural, organic. Seeing those words on labels as you're cruising down aisles in the grocery store can be a little daunting if you don't understand what they each mean. Take the term natural, for instance.
It's just a way to make people think that they are doing something better or different, and in all reality, they might not be doing anything differently. Anything can be called natural because it's not a regulated term by the government.
Natural is used very loosely. A standard definition does not exist, but Food and Drug Administration policy says natural should apply to foods that do not contain added color, artificial flavors, or synthetic substances. But even if something is labeled as natural, that doesn't mean it's healthy either. The product could have added sugar or extra calories or fat.
Well, organic refers to the way the food is grown. And so in organic agriculture, it's grown without use of conventional herbicides, pesticides, and fertilizers.
Anything can be organic, but it must be certified by the U.S. Department of Agriculture before it can use the label. To be USDA certified organic, the product and/or farm must be produced without genetic engineering, ionizing radiation, or sewage sludge. It must also be produced per the national list of allowed and prohibited substances. And it must be overseen by a USDA National Organic Program authorized certifying agent, following all USDA organic regulations. It can be quite the process and a bit pricey for the farmer.
In this day and age, the organics are under such a stringent guideline. They have to meet certain expectations, otherwise they're not considered organic. It's so expensive. And then if that expense is passed on to the consumer from a small farmer, well, people aren't going to be able to afford the product.
The term whole has a different meaning than both organic and natural.
Whole foods, it's food in its unprocessed state or least processed state that's still edible. So, that, the crackers and things like that, you can get some whole grains in there, but it's generally better if you're eating foods that you've made from scratch.
In other words, a whole food is any food in its most essential, pure, and basic form, such as a garden vegetable, a slice of fruit, a scoop of quinoa, or a fillet of fish. A good example is flour used in cooking or baking.
A lot of times with our flours, a white flour is made, there's 3 components to wheat, and they're only using 1 component in order to make that white flour. And so you're losing all kinds of nutrients in the other 2 components.
Now, today we just learned the basics, the difference between the terms organic, natural, and whole. Tomorrow, in the second part of my series, It Comes Naturally, we learn about the differences between buying conventional versus organic products and if one is really healthier for you than the other. Tune in tomorrow night at 10 on Fox UP to get the scoop. Ben?